Hey there, and welcome back to Arlin Plays EarthBound, episode 11. Last time we found ourselves a girlfriend, and now it's time to go spelunking. Well, don't take that out of context, but regardless. So we're all geared up and set to go. At this point, I am level 17, and Paula is at level 1. Yes. I'm not entirely sure why they would do it this way. Of course, I mean, I suppose on the one hand it does emphasize that she is kind of, I wouldn't say helpless, but definitely in need of saving, because, well, she wouldn't have survived out in that wilderness, I can tell you that much. But, on the other hand, it is really inconvenient, and I hope to God I can keep her alive long enough for her to level up a few times. I don't always succeed when I try this, so let's give it a shot. And the first enemy we have up here is a mole playing rough. He just looks so fierce. I mean, look at him with that squinty eye. He must be related to Brock. Alright, let's use your PSI freeze. Bam! See how much you do. 140 damage. Dear gods. That does remind me, though, that's one thing that this game does that's kind of different from other games out there. And look at her level. Look at that. A lot of games will have different elemental attacks like this. Like, it shows up in different strategy games, different tactical games, that sort of thing. Very few of them do resistances the way that this does. Like, it's usually, well, this damage is based on this stat and that sort of thing. Whereas in EarthBound, the ability has a specific amount of damage that it does, and then each enemy has resistances to each element that vary between 0 to like 40 to 80% or whatever it happens to be. So the baseline PSI freeze sounds really, really powerful, except that very few enemies have completely no resistance to it. Those that do, on the other hand, it's quite nice. Same thing with PSI fire. Now, one of the other things I found interesting is that the way they separated the elements wasn't purely just a which attack actually works, but if you look at what the configuration is, they each have their own different unique abilities. I don't have it yet, but I did mention PSI Thunder before. That's the other element that they've got. That actually, if I remember correctly, is one of the rare exceptions. I don't think anything actually has resistance to lightning. I could be wrong, so please feel free to tell me that I'm full of crap if that is the case. But I know that you can't target things with it. But the more enemies there are, the greater chance of hitting something. The other unique thing with PSI Thunder is, or Thunder or Lightning, I forget which it is that it will actually get rid of shields, both psi shields and otherwise when it hits. So that much is nice. But otherwise, you've got Freeze, which is your basic single target, nuke them off the face of the planet kind of attack. You've got PSI Fire, which is great for taking out lines of enemies, but is otherwise a little bit expensive. So I do like that they each have their own uses outside of just which element is best here. It adds a little bit more tactical depth to the game, which is great. Apparently Ness is not doing anything. Alright. And apparently it made itself feel strange. Oh, teddy bears. Soaking all kinds of attacks. Fun fact, teddy bears are great not just for soaking straight up damage, but since they can't have PP stolen or have status effects, it can soak those attacks really nicely. It actually reminds me of Substitute in Pokemon, but regardless. Hey, look at that. Single Mr. Batty? No chance. Alright, Paula's doing pretty well. There we go. PSI Thunder Alpha. So, turns out I was correct the first time around. Oh, playing rough. And there goes the teddy bear. Well, it lasted a while, and Paula's probably going... Oh! Ness started thinking about his mom. And so we have what is probably the earliest instance of homesickness that I have ever seen playing this game. So unfortunately that does mean we're going to have to run back out, but it does give me a chance to analyze a couple of other things while we're going, so not a big deal. Great charm, huh? What does the Great Charm do? Help! Great Charm must be equipped on your body. It protects you from paralysis attacks. Also, it adds a bit of speed. Unfortunately, it does not give the host the ability to talk. Alright, let's see. I'm thinking Ness could probably use it because he tends to be pretty slow, so we'll give him that. Does she? Did I give her? Oh, I forgot to give it to her. Huh. Well, let's protect her from paralysis, not that it actually affects her that much. After all, paralysis is one of those things that it prevents you from doing things, except that you can still do PSI attacks, and since Paula is basically all PSI attacks, it doesn't really do much to her. Oh no, she can't swing her frying pan. But again, coming back to that, the having her be at level 1, I mean, it does add a bit of challenge, sure, but I guess I question what adding challenge here adds to this particular dungeon. I mean, this place would be a pain in the butt with just Ness, and you can try it. I remember doing so when I was a kid, but it's much easier once you have a second party member, even with her being weak starting off. I will say that it is frustrating having her sap out your wallet every time that she dies to a bat, but... I mean, because they can definitely make an estimate of what level you'd be at, or even just put her at level 10. I mean, then even if you went on a quick... even if you're on a run where you're trying not to level, you're still likely to be in that range. I mean, you don't... Of course, I say that as if I have an actual experience doing a low-level run in this game, which isn't really the case. Out of my way, I'm all playing rough! Oh, enemies that waste their turns. Something that becomes rarer and rarer as the game goes on. Alright, let's go take care of this homesickness thing. Because it is a unique status effect that only Ness gets, and unfortunately there is no real display that it's happening aside from when the effects happen. Yeah, oh, there it is. It actually does show up on the status screen. But it's one of those statuses that the longer you leave it unchecked, the worse it gets. Or at least, maybe that was just my remembering as a kid. I know that I misremember things from time to time. I know, mind blown. That is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to sell. I have an extra travel charm. There we go. Buy it for $30. Nope. Good. Alright. First, calling Mom. Hello, Ness. What's wrong? You sound so sad. Are you homesick? Well, I knew there would be days like this. It must make you feel better listening to your mom's sweet voice. So, do you feel any better? Well, I'd better get going. I'm in the middle of my ironing. Bye! Click! Beep, beep, beep. Ness got over being homesick. See, that was quick. While we're here, I'll do a quick saving with my dad, but I know that it randomly decides when Ness gets homesick. Most of the games that I play through this game, he actually is somewhere in 3 or beyond before the homesickness sets in. But it appears that that this one was sooner, which is alright. At least I wasn't too far into the cave, so it wasn't too annoying, and absolute worst case, I still have that exit mouse. So, now that we've taken a look at that, let's take a look at the design of this actual cave. I admit I definitely like the music that they chose for it. I mean, it definitely gives you a sense of the size, despite, you know, not really being able to look around. I mean, obviously these cave systems have to be absolutely enormous if you were to put them in real-life terms, but just the ambient sounds they've been using really do a good job of emphasizing that. Also, you know, emphasizing the whole, you're underground! And that is not what I meant to do. That's okay. Paula can use the experience. Oh, good. Wasting a turn. Always good. But so, you've got... I mean, other than that, it seems to be a pretty standard, just maze-type area with a bunch of enemies to deal with. Oh, look! Psy-Flash Alpha. That's a fun little move. Alright, I'm gonna... Okay, apparently they were running away, but not running away. Strange movement paths. Anyway, alright. Let's take care of that. Oh, hey! Huh, that's something I never really looked at. Paula also has a unique ability called Prey, which most of the time it does very strange things. I'll probably use it a couple of times just to show some of it, but some of the effects are beneficial, some of the effects are definitely not, and some of them are kind of whichever. But we shall see. There's a croissant inside. Ness takes it. But I have actually had plenty of times where using that pray command will end the game because of what happens. Let's find out. Prayed with her whole heart. A dazzling light enveloped Ness and Paula. Could not stop crying. Alright, well, I'm gonna pray again and see what happens. Very subtle light and... So that's a small HP restore. Not bad considering that it doesn't cost anything. And I suppose in its own way that is a good... Oh god. No more defenses for you! Alright, we're gonna use PSI Freeze, just because that I don't think is affected by crying. That's the other thing with EarthBound. Most of the status effects, even though they have the same effect as a lot of the other things, are not described or not presented the same way. Instead of blindness, you've got can't stop crying. Paralysis, while yes, it is referred to as that in some places, it's usually presented as feeling numb, which I guess works. I don't know if that's a translation thing or what, but that one's kind of interesting. Poison is right there, although that one is a pretty rare one that doesn't come up too often. But then there's also having a cold, there's sunstroke, all kinds of stuff. Look at that, Paula survived long enough for me to heal her up. Apparently the angle was bad there. Alright. Paula, survive. Or the mole playing rough can feel strange. I'm cool with this. Oh good. Ness taking it like a man, as he should. Come on. There we go. Now there's something that I've thought about that would be interesting to look at, although I don't think I'm going to be able to do so with the format of this Let's Play. But because I know that the backgrounds are generated based on the enemies present. And I know that it is a special, unique thing, and that is a freaking bear. This is not going to end well. It is not just a bear, it is a mighty bear. And we have... Ooh, tempting. Very tempting. Alright, you know what? I'm just going to use the normal one and hope that it helps. Okay, so he's got decent resistance to it, but it still does a lot of damage. Apparently I could have just used the upgraded version, but that's okay. Oh, good. Hey, look at that. I've still got a little bit of PP left. But, as I was saying, what I'd be interested to know is if the backgrounds they chose for the different enemies have something to do with the area that you put them in. So, like, I mean, here we've got some yellows and some browns and stuff, but there was the more brownish background for a couple of other things, and a little darker background for the bats. I mean, I think that they do try to pick stuff that's appropriate for the enemies, but I don't know if that ties into the location at all. I'm probably overthinking it, it's okay. PSI rockin', and PSI fire, because, you know, they're all in a row. Why not? Bam! Oh good, he hit Ness. Oh. Always worry every time I fight one of these things. Okay, and now Paula has nothing left except for frying pan. Well, this is gonna get ugly, I feel. Ooh, she gained a level, which means... Yes! She gets 10 PP back. Perfect timing, and even better. Alright, let's use Ness to heal up here. And I'm pretty sure her health is maxed out, so I'll just go ahead and take this. The power of purple restores you. Can I get it to respawn? I can! Haha! Cheating the game the way you do. And so, wow, she still has more? Or is she actually... Okay, her max is straight up 50. Alright, I can work with that. So, let's see if I can sneak past it. Nope. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think this game has anything resembling, like, line of sight. I think it's just proximity-based as to when it actually goes after you. But that's okay. And here goes the Mighty Bear. Yep, 295 HP. That's right. Paula is my first definition of glass cannon. Because she dies... most of the time when I play through this game, she dies more than any other party member, hands down. But we shall see. Let's use PSI Flash and see what that does for us. And praying, because I'm feeling ballsy. Bam! Could not stop crying. Did not work, did not work. Well, that's really strange, now, when you think about it. Wouldn't you think that the flash would affect the bats more? But apparently not. Alright. Well, I'll save his PP for now. Oh, that's the other thing with Thunder. Yes, you can't control it, but it is also the cheapest. Look at it go. Let's see if I can actually get it to work. That'd be nice. And there goes the mole playing rough. So, as you can see, hits like a truck, but hard to use. And again, the fewer enemies there are, the less likely it is to hit. There we go. Now we got one left. Oh, and here I was hoping that his confusion would cause him to hit himself. It's a little more deadly than in Pokemon, but, you know, with a different game system that makes a little more sense. Also, Paul is almost dead. We are doing so well so far. Let's see if I can get out of the way. I'm hoping. Alright, good enough. And bam, maxed out, because she's only got 60 HP. Yeah, there's a present up there, but I think I'll get that on my way back when all these enemies are running away. Come on. There we go. So, hopefully we're getting near the end here. But it, you know, it wasn't... every time I went past this area as a kid, I never quite registered that that's a pool. Like, that's unequivocally what that is. Psy Caramel inside, yay. Alright. Now to take out this bear, like you do, and move on. Now, I always had better luck with these, usually. Well, and not just like that. I often would have them be frozen solid for a turn, which would give me the time to beat the piss out of them some more. Alright, now, here's something where I will use a little bit of prior knowledge, despite, you know, my usual approach to these. But you finally got here. This is the second Your Sanctuary location, but it's mine now. Take it from me if you dare. Oh, I dare. But Mondo Mole is one of those bosses that is very difficult to defeat unless you use something that is not all that used all that often. So paralysis it is, because I want Paula to live. And unfortunately he resists the hell out of a lot of stuff, but yeah. So his body is now numb, which means he can't make physical attacks. Unfortunately for him, that also means that he basically can't do anything, because he doesn't have much else going for him. I wish I had Psyrock and Beta. That'd be nice right now, but alas, no. Alright, let's see. Well, I'm not going to hit him with that, but let's see if it's only 31. God, I might as well just sit here bashing for a while and use Thunder and hope it hits him. Like that! That'll speed things up a little. A little. Unfortunately, he does have healing, so this could take a while. But once I'm out of it, if this continues for too long, I will just go ahead and skip to the end or fast forward or something. And nope, didn't hit anyone. I don't know which is more sad, me sitting here firing off Thunderbolts and not being able to control where they go at all, or that it's still not... it's still the best avenue of attack that Paula has right now. That's kinda sad. There we go. 127. You know, it's always a good sign when those rare PSI Thunders outdo his ability to heal. That's a helpful thing. I don't think I've ever had so many of them hit him before, though. And there we go! Look at that! Ness and Paula gain 2,896 XP each. Alright, Paula's level is now 14. Look at her go. She's gained 13 levels in the past 20 minutes. Look at her go. So, that, as they say, is that. Hey, look at that. They're being literal when they said Lilliput steps. Oh, the joys of old references that most kids aren't going to get these days. Ness briefly had a vision of a baby in a red cap. Ness's soundstone recorded the melody of the Lilliput steps. So yeah, it's just this tiny little area here, which is apparently completely inaccessible in any other way. But at least you could get out if you fell in here, you know. But aside from the land of Gulliver's Travels... Gods, I can't believe that I actually read that book at one point or another. It's been years. Fortunately, now even the bears are afraid of me. Look at them go. Ha! Jerks. This'll be fun. Mighty Bear! And we get an extra attack in the middle, so... we'll just set them on fire, like good little children, right? Oh, hey. Alright. Well, unfortunately, as much as I would love to keep going, we are out of time, so... thank you all for watching. If you liked what you saw, watch some more. Tell people about me. That sort of thing. I will see you guys next time once I'm actually out of this cave. So I'll probably spare you watching me do that. Unless I continue to waste more of your time. Anyway, thanks again for watching. And I will see you next time.